I'm Abby, More Than Just Skin, and welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm thrilled you took some time out of your day to spend a little bit of time here with me. I first want to say it has been pouring outside all day long. I literally thought I was going to have to put on my goggles and my swim cap and swim to work this morning. That's how bad it was. So my hair is kind of a hot mess. But today's video is another makeup in review, and the concept of behind these videos is to tell you how long I've been wearing the makeup, when I applied it, what time it is now, go through some of the products, and let you be the judge as well as me to kind of talk about how I think that they held up throughout the day. And so if you're interested in knowing what I have on my face and how they have held up, hit that subscribe button, and here we go. Per the usual, I want to talk about what is on my nails, and today is another KL polish. I really have been wearing KL polish pretty much, I would say, the entire fall. And this one is no exception. This color is Scorpio. It is, of course, from the Zodiac collection. I am a Scorpio, so it's no doubt that I love this color. It is, as you can see here, it is in the bottle right here. It is kind of like a reddish brown with some sheen to it, which I think is perfect for fall. I think it'll be great for the holidays and for the winter months. So I am loving it. They are starting to chip a little bit, or not really chip, but just kind of looking worse for wear. So I am going to redo them tonight. But now I'm going to zoom in so you can kind of see this up close, and we're going to talk about what I'm wearing on my face. Okay, so if you see me looking in this direction right here, I have put my big mirror here so I can kind of look and do some evaluating. So I like to start these in the order in which I apply things. Now, let's start by saying that I applied this makeup around 6 o'clock this morning. It is after 5 now. The only thing I have retouched is my lipstick. Everything else has not been touched at all. So now we're going to start with what I applied first. And this is my primer from Hello Fab, well, from First Aid Beauty, but it's Hello Fab Coconut Skin Smoothing Primer Moisturizer. This, I've said this before, to me is kind of like what I consider to be the perfect primer. This size is a deluxe sample size. I have a smaller size that you can purchase, but I just am not sure, it's somewhere in there in my makeup stash. I most definitely will purchase the full size. I feel like if you have dry skin, this foundation primer is exactly what you need in your life. Mom, I'm talking to you right now. We need to get your hands on this. It is the perfect hybrid between a hydrating primer and a radiance primer. It's like as if the two had a baby. So instead of using two different primers, you just use this one. The reason I chose this one today is because first I was going to be using a matte foundation, and I also was going to be using a foundation that I felt like was a little, I've had some experience with in the past, that was maybe a little bit on the drier side. So I thought that this would be a perfect primer for that. And looking at my skin right now, I say that I succeeded. My skin looks matte, but it does not look dry. There's a difference between matte and dry. Looking matte is fine, but you don't want to look dry. And I think that this primer helps that. So moving on to the foundation that I am wearing. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you will know that I have said in the past that I love the concept of stick foundations. I just think the concept of it is so just easy, simplified, no fuss, just kind of putting it on and putting it, you know, and getting some makeup on your skin and it looking flawless and looking good and it not being difficult and not taking too long. I have really yet to find a stick foundation that actually meets what I consider the concept to be. In real life, to me, stick foundation is always either too greasy on my skin, too dry on my skin, it breaks up, it looks too heavy, it sits on top of my skin, it just doesn't look natural. So I'm still though on the hunt for the perfect stick foundation, and that comes in today's foundation, and this is the Maybelline Super Stay Multi-Use Foundation Stick, and it's cream to matte formula, full coverage. Okay, so you can see the reason why I went in with the type of primer that I went in with because I knew it was going to be matte. I knew it was going to be a full coverage. So I thought that that primer would do the best. This is not the first time I've worn this. I have it in the shade 130 Buff Beige. And that's what it looks like. It might look like I've used a lot. I really haven't. You don't get a whole lot of product. I'm trying to look and see if I can figure out how much product you actually get, but it's not really a lot. I will say that. But so the way I like to apply my foundation, as you all know, is with a damp sponge, damp beauty blender, or the like. This does not work with that. I feel like a damp sponge with this foundation really just absorbs the product. It doesn't buff it in. It doesn't make it look good. It just absorbs the product. So that was a no-go. So what I then had to do was, well, I needed a brush. So I have paired my Artiste brush, and this is the Oval 7, and it's dirty because I used it this morning, with this. And this is kind of the perfect combination. It's easy because this is a big brush that just you can kind of buff it and slap it on and it's fine. To get the amount of coverage that I have on my skin right now was not just one layer. I had to go back in and kind of layer up in some areas to get a full coverage. It's very buildable to a full coverage, but I don't think that it instantly on one swipe is full coverage. That's just me. I will also say this. Today is the first day that I have worn this in cooler weather. So today is the first day I've worn it without it being 90 degrees. This foundation, like most all of my other ones, holds up exceptionally better. If that's even grammar, that's bad grammar. Much better, much better in cooler weather than it does in 90-degree weather. I mean, the 90-degree temperatures, it's just hard to get makeup to stay on your skin. It just really is. I mean, no matter how good you are at applying it, you're going to have more breakup because you have some sweating going on throughout the day. It's just a little bit harder to get anything to last when it's 90+ degrees. So today I wore this, and I am looking in, and another thing I felt like I need to bring up, when I wore this every day but today, I felt like this sat on top of my skin, that it did not really sink in and look like skin. It just kind of sat on top of my skin. I'm looking in the mirror right now, and this looks like skin, y'all. This looks good. I mean, I'm looking at it and, you know, okay, so my normal spots are here and here. A little bit, but nothing like normal. I don't know, maybe my eyes didn't water as much as usual. Nowhere really around the mouth. I mean, it's really, I think it has worn exceptionally well. Now, has it stood up to the sweat test? No, because I haven't been sweating today. It's been rainy and 60-something degrees. So, but I think that it looks really good. I am impressed. I'm going to keep wearing it. I'm going to keep trying it out and kind of get an opinion. But I was impressed this morning with the ease of applying it, and I'm impressed with how it looks. So yeah. Okay, moving on to, oh, and I didn't pull it out because I know y'all are sick of hearing me talk about it. I did set it. Another thing about this foundation is because it is cream to matte, I think that it is like a self-setting foundation. So if you have drier skin and you don't like to powder, or you just don't like to powder anyway, I think you can avoid, if you use this, I don't think you have to powder. I think you give it a couple of minutes, it will set, and you don't have to powder. Now because it's matte, I use the Laura Mercier Translucent Glow Powder because that's kind of what I like to do when I'm wearing a more matte foundation. So that is what I did to set my face. What I did to bronze up the cheeks is, I don't know if y'all remember last winter, I fell in love with the e.l.f. bronzer in Golden, and I felt like when I first looked at it that it looked more like a setting powder than a bronzer, but it was buildable and it just gave my skin this beautiful glow. kind of mimicking the Hourglass bronzer, which is much more expensive. Well, this is the e.l.f. bronzer, and this is in the shade Warm. And it's a similar concept, but it is darker than the golden one. And y'all, I am just loving it. I have it on my cheeks today. It gives you, I just swirl my brush in the whole thing. It does have some shimmer in it, and it gives you a little bit of a sheen, but I don't think that it's anything too much. I mean, what you're seeing glowing there is my highlighter, and I'll get to that in a minute. But this is just, I really have been enjoying it, and I think this comes in around $4 or $5 maybe, and I just really think it's great. Moving on to blush. Today I am wearing the Benefit Rocketeer blush. It looks like this. I said this before. This just gives you such a nice, neutral, pretty glow on the cheeks. If you just want one good, solid blush in your life, get this, because I think that this one will go cool, it can go warm, and it just kind of gives you a natural look, which I think is really, really pretty. The concealer that I wore under my eyes is the Trish McEvoy Instant Eye Lift. This is a pricey concealer, but it's so, so good, y'all. I'm looking now, it looks good. There's no creasing. It just really, it's really a nice concealer to wear. The highlighter that I'm wearing is the Anastasia Resi, and I'm pulling this out because news is that Anastasia is re-releasing this, and if you didn't get it, go get it. The thing I like about this is while it looks kind of intimidating in the pan, it's not at all. It kind of sinks and morphs into your skin to where it just looks like your skin. To me, it doesn't look so much like a highlighter is sitting on top of your skin. It looks more like you were just kind of lit from within and glowing, and I think it's really, really pretty. You should not be intimidated by this at all. Moving on to eyes. So I primed my eyelids with this No Budge Shadow Stick by e.l.f. and it's in the shade Rose Gold. Whew. Y'all, this stuff is just not very good and I need to declutter it. You don't get a whole lot of color payoff, which did not really bother me because I was really just using it as a base. But I'm going to tell you that the eyeshadow I have on is an eyeshadow palette I've worn a good bit. And I feel like today, while it doesn't look bad, it did not wear as good today as it has worn every other time that I have worn it. And I think it's because of this. So this needs to go in my declutter. Save your money. Don't purchase these. I just don't think they're really any good. But the palette that I am wearing is something I received from my two besties for, they go in together and get me like a crazy array of birthday goodies, and it's just so fun. And this was something they gave me. It is the Natasha Denona Mini Star Palette. Now this is the first thing I've ever had from Natasha Denona, and this is how it looks. Let me tell you about this palette, y'all. This palette is fun, and this is the reason. You can create an entire eye look just by using this palette, okay? Except for the fact that I kind of just need a base color of beige, but you can use your powder for that, okay? But you can create, not only can you create one look, two looks, you can create a multitude of looks because you have these three very different shimmer shades. And when I say shimmer, these are shimmery. Now, this one right here, this green, it doesn't have the payoff that I would like it to. Can y'all see that? I'm sticking my finger in it. Let's see. And I'm going to put some. And that is not at all what I expect that color to look like. So that one is a little lacking. I can make it work. I can use a brush and use some Fix Plus and really make it work. But you're not really, it's kind of hard to get that green shade payoff. But this one and this one, okay, this one here is the gorgeous one because you talking about some payoff. I mean, this one here is really stunning. I mean, look at that right there. It's like this greenish bronze. And then this one is more of like a champagne. And that's the way it looks right there. They are gorgeous and they are incredibly shimmery, glittery, and you can still see my eyes. I'm gonna close my eyes, see if you can see. I can still see shimmer on my eyes. And like I said, I applied this with my finger very early this morning. You can still, yes, and yes, I rocked this to work because that's how I roll. I feel like the matte shades are beautiful. They're pigmented. They look good. Mine have worn probably, I mean, they still wore pretty good today. I mean, I put this color here all over the crease. I did this a little bit more detailed in the crease and on the outer corner, and I put both of them on the lower lash line, and I didn't put any other eyeliner on. But they do stay better. I have found that they stay better with other primers, so I will say that. But I just think that this is a great little palette, and it's so versatile, and you can really achieve a lot of different looks using it, and I have been loving it. Loving it ever since I got it. I wear it all the time. Okay, so I set my face today with the Smashbox Primer Water. So I did not even go in with the Urban Decay All Nighter, which is kind of my go-to when I want something to last a long time. And I still think that this foundation and all the face, everything lasted very well. Lastly, what is on my lips is a color that I have been loving. This is just kind of the color that I have been loving the entire fall, of a variation of this color. And this one is from the drugstore, y'all. This is the Butter Lipstick in the shade Ripe Berry. And I love it. I think I have had to reapply it. I think I reapplied it after lunch, and then I think I just reapplied it right before I left work because I knew I was going to film this video. But I'm impressed by it. It's not drying. It feels good on the lips, and it is just a really pretty berry color that does not break the bank. Okay, y'all, so that is the face in review. If you like these type of videos, please consider giving me a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. I would love to have you back here on a regular basis. And as always, I hope this video finds you having a fantastic day and a great week, and I will see y'all soon. Bye, y'all.